The party bus was already nose down in the ditch when the alpaca trotted past my mailbox with a glow necklace swinging from its neck. Yeah, you heard me right. An alpaca in rave gear. I'm standing there on my porch with a mug of burnt diner coffee, blinking in the gold streaks of sunrise, wondering if I'm still asleep or if I accidentally wandered into some fever dream. Bus has pink streamers flapping in the breeze, bride squad banner dangling off the side, half swallowed by mud and wildflowers, and that alpaca's just chewing on a fern like he's seen it all before. Now, if you'd asked me 10 years ago where I'd be on a Saturday morning, I probably wouldn't have said refereeing a showdown between a wedding party and a herd animal with better style than me. But here we are. Behind the bus, a woman in a navy blazer and hiking heels is swinging bolt cutters at my cabin gate, swinging hard, too, like she's training for the CrossFit Olympics. Her face is beet red, veins bulging, every swing fueled by pure HOA rage, and she's screaming that I need to open my gate immediately. Apparently, these were her paying guests, and I, Owen Hale, proud owner of this tiny slice of pine and granite, had absolutely no right to block access to the waterfront. Her voice cracked so hard on that last word, I swear even the mountain stopped too. Listen, but the gate didn't budge, not a shiver. Solid steel, locked up with a chain I installed just a couple weeks ago. Behind her, 20 women in matching pink sashes just stared in shock, frozen in a tableau while the alpaca took his time with breakfast. And that, right there, sums up life in Cedar Summit, where the HOA likes to call itself Cedar Summit Lakeside Village, to pretend our little beaver pond is some kind of sparkling resort. I keep to myself mostly. I split wood, fix radios that should have been recycled a decade ago, and feed a blue jay who's convinced he owns the porch. My driveway's a private easement, has been for years. That gate, wildfire rated, county approved, and signed off by every inspector in a 50-mile radius. But all that paperwork meant nothing. The day Beverly Consincade became HOA president. You ever meet someone whose hair never moves, even in a thunderstorm? That's Beverly. Helmet hair, pearl earrings, teeth so white and even you'd swear she could open a can with M, and a voice like a smoke alarm that's just about to die at 3 in the morning. 2 weeks after taking charge, Beverly decided my gate was hostile to community spirit. Translation: she wanted her short-term rental guests to shave 10 minutes off their drive by cutting straight across my land to her lakeside Airbnb. I told her no twice. Nicely, even. Offered to show her my property deed, easement docs, the whole 9 yards. She didn't take it well. First came the unsightly gate violation notice, taped so thoroughly to my fence with packing tape I had to sand the adhesive off later. Funny thing is, the gate is county approved, powder-coated, and, honestly, as bland as a spreadsheet. Next up, Beverly's curb appeal inspections. Picture her, out there with a camera, taking 6 different photos of my compost bin like it's a bomb threat. Then came the letters, formal sounding, but referencing bylaws that don't even exist. I checked twice. I'm telling you, she just made stuff up. She started stuffing flyers in every mailbox on the mountain, called me the gate gremlin, drew a map with my property outlined in red, and slapped a sad face emoji on it. She promised her renters a shortcut. All they had to do was reason with a difficult neighbor. And that's when the real parade started, landscapers tromping through. My ferns, yoga groups doing sun salutations on my woodpile at dawn, complete with flute music so loud it chased the birds off. At one point, a drone was buzzing my deck so low it made ripples in my coffee. I documented everything. Dates, times, photos. Still didn't give her the gate code. Things came to a head at the June HOA meeting. Beverly called me a hoarder of the outdoors, like my half-acre of pine and scrub is the Grand Canyon. She even tried to guilt me with think of the tourism revenue. And you know what? 3 people actually clapped. In July, she staged an emergency access drill. Her words, emailed the whole HOA that the fire marshal demanded all gates be unlocked on weekends. Her proof was a letter on county letterhead, but in Comic Sans, size 14. And the fire marshal's name spelled wrong. You'd think folks would catch that, but if there's an official seal, people don't always look too close. She chartered a party bus for a bachelorette. Bash, pink sashes, champagne, and that poor alpaca in a bow tie. Bus idling at my gate. Engine spewing diesel into the pines. Beverly clipped my lock with bolt cutters, metal screaming. Then had her. Handyman zip tie a new common area path signed to my post, sticker still on it. What Beverly didn't know is my trail cam network's tighter than most folks' social calendars. 6 cameras caught. Everything, bolt cutters, the sign, Beverly on her phone barking orders, her instructing the bus driver to gun it over my culvert like it's the Fast and the Furious, Lakeside edition. Turns out, you can only poke a hornet's nest so many times. A neighbor called 911 about suspicious activity with power tools. 14 minutes later, the real fire marshal, Randall Hutchinson, with an N at the end, showed up. Beverly's up there giving a safety speech, 20 bachelorettes clinking champagne, and the alpacas munching weeds, oblivious to human nonsense. Marshal Hutchinson goes from curious to furious in 30 seconds flat. He shuts down the bus, cites the driver for blocking an access road, and calls the sheriff when he spots the fake letter. Wrong seal, wrong name. And Lord, that Comic Sans. Sheriff's deputies show up, check my deed, review the trail cam footage, and discover Beverly's handyman broke into my utility box to power the party string lights he'd hung across my driveway. At this point, nobody's laughing. 10 minutes later, the HOA's lawyer strolls in, barefoot, boat shoes, looks like he just stepped off a dock. He reads the bylaws, turns whiter by the second. Turns out, the HOA never had authority over private easements, only common paths, and mine's on the wrong side of Birch Loop. If anybody had bothered reading page 5 of the covenants, we'd have saved a whole summer of headaches. The next HOA meeting was standing room only. I brought my greatest hits, USB, video clips of Beverly's bolt cutter lessons, her stapling the fake fire marshal letter to the bulletin board, telling the alpaca handler to say he's with Wildfire Education and Safety Outreach, which doesn't exist. Played it all on the big screen. The J on my shoulder even whistled at the dramatic parts. Swear he's got a sense for timing. Room was dead silent, broken only by gasps and one snorted laugh. And then came the kicker. A deputy rolled in a cart, stacked with evidence. Emails tracing the forged letter to Beverly's home IP at 2:17 a.m., vendor invoices for a mountain adventure photo op, paid on her business card, and a spreadsheet labeled Shortcut Fee Revenue Projections. Turns out, she planned to charge guests $75 a pop to use my drive, estimating $48,000 a year, with a color-coded chart and everything. For a second, all you could hear was people breathing, and maybe a pine cone dropping on the roof. That's when Sheriff Torres, who's seen it all in her 23 years, stood up and cited Beverly for criminal trespass, vandalism, utility tampering, and filing a false official notice. The county DA, suit too nice for our neck of the woods, added a forgery charge, felony under state law. The board held an emergency vote on Beverly's removal. She tried to gavel it down, but the gavel head flew off and landed right in the cheese platter, like even the universe was sick of her nonsense. By the end of the night, Beverly was out. Even her friends didn't defend her. She got slapped with $12,000 in fines, her rental permit suspended for a year, and criminal charges hanging over her head. Her face went from red to white to a sort of gray I didn't know people could turn. She tried to talk, mouth opening and closing, but nothing came out. She gathered her things, stumbled on the threshold, her hiking heels caught, and the only sound as she left was one slow, deliberate clap. Everyone else pretended not to hear it, but I think we all felt it. So that's how my quiet summer at Cedar Summit turned into a cross between a reality show and a courtroom drama. My gate's still locked, the birds are back, and the alpaca. He came by last week, no glow necklace this time. Just a little grass stuck in his teeth. Some things you can't make up. Now let me throw this out to you. Where's the line between standing your ground and being a good neighbor? Was I right to hold firm, or did I go too far? Let me know what you'd have done, and hey, if you've got your own HOA war stories, I want to hear them. Drop a comment. Hit that like button if you think justice was served. And tell me, what would you do if a party bus and an alpaca showed up in your driveway at dawn?